And so, beloved masters, greetings on this evening. Here we are moving toward the last stretch of 2025, and it has been quite a horse race, as they say in the world. It is that the energies are exploding with the revelation of secrets that have been there for lifetimes. Not just today, not just the Republican Party. At the time of the Civil War, the names were switched, and the Democrats were the bad guys. And now it's the Republicans. And the truth of it is, it's becoming less and less about parties, about the names of religions, about all of the outer world choices of who I'm going to side with. Because the most vitally important point today, in this time, as we talk, tonight as you sleep, in the morning when you rise up, is getting more and more aligned within yourself. And it isn't thinking about it. It isn't trying to do it. Because as you come deeper and deeper into the connection with self, it is that you will feel the ever expanding difference between trying to get to your inner self, which, dearly beloved masters, just really creates a lot of stress. And you may feel the tension all over your physical body. You may feel it in your nervous system. You may feel it emotionally. I'm trying to go deeper. But in spirit, it isn't about a war. It isn't about fighting to get to yourself. It is about breathing in life. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out just a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you practice this pattern of breathing, and there are many patterns that are out there, and you may find one that seems to be more equitable to your oxygen intake, but it is this pattern of 6 breaths per moment. It is every minute you have breathed in and breathed out 6 times. And that begins to create a rhythm, a flow that is equality. And that is what you're seeking to find in yourself. I am equal. I am absolutely one of a kind. There's not another one on this planet that is like me. I am beautifully, wondrously, marvelously unique. And I am one of this whole earthly family of humanity. Each one, sisters and brothers, each one their own divine creative master, each one beautiful. And your assignment, if you are willing to take it, is to become yourself even more than you've been. And beloved masters, take into consideration that you're not attempting to get back to who you were when you were even born into this lifetime, but you are seeking to unify, to intertwine with a wholeness that has not really understood equality in lifetimes. Equal. And certainly the outer world says that is impossible. There is no way that all of these people on this planet doing all of the things that they're doing, being so outrageously different, there's no way that they can be equal. And yet, in the divine wisdom, in the essence of love that does not put a measure on you. You've been taught that God measures you. And you have this vision of a lineup of people standing at the pearly gates, milling around, waiting to get into heaven. As the gate comes open and a voice says, "Next." And that's not what it is. You are intimately, personally involved in the energetic being of all there is. You are beautifully, amazingly, astoundingly yourself. Who is that? To meet the refusals that you have met throughout lifetimes, when the energy of someone's voice triggers in you a feeling of shame or guilt or not being good enough, a memory. Oh, yes, it can very well be from this lifetime, but it most assuredly is for lifetimes. The last 12,000 years have been a time where humanity has been more definitively separating from themselves and each other. And now it's time to allow yourself to walk that long and winding road with the companionship of your own spiritual team, of those who love you, of those who are there to support you, to assure you, to remind you, yes, you can move on this road. Yes, you can make your way home. Yes, you can live better than you've lived in lifetimes because it's time. Feel the love. Can't you feel the love tonight? It is where you are. It's enough to make a star-crossed lover see their very best. Feel it. Feel it in you. Feel it around you. Feel it as though you are covered with a cloak of divine essence. Feel it as though you were more than you have been allowed to see. And so, beloved masters, this is such a powerful time of your own personal homecoming. You can't measure against anyone else because they're one of a kind also. You can share. This is what I found. You can share. This is what I'm seeking. You can share. And it is, dearly beloved masters, to really know that as you share, you're actually on that journey home because you were created to share. You were created to be a part of the whole. And this is where things are not going as you are in the process of leaving this carbon-based vehicle. And it isn't even about death because you were created to live for 1,000 years. And so, beloved masters, it is for you to simply be with the changes. Spirit will show you. Spirit will guide you. But it requires the constant, loving reminder to yourself, I let the ideas of the outer world simply go into the violet flame because Many people are saying that the noise of the outer world is very disturbing. It feels as though they are in a crowded room when they're sitting by themselves. But that mind chatter that the old order has created, that is so intense in these times. The worry, the fear, the doubt, the questions, the same questions you've been asking yourself for lifetimes. But it's time to forgive, asking those questions in your logical mind, in your outer world space, and feel your energy just floating down to center, into the solar plexus, into the heart. Feel the peace, the calm. Yes, you may encounter at first the anxiety of the outer world because it is in your stomach. It is in your solar plexus, which is also energetically the seat of your soul. But in this physical form, you experience more anxiety until you begin to allow yourself energetically to move into that inner connection that isn't limited by the lower vibrations of the outer world. Because that inner connection, going deeper into yourself and allowing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally to dare to dive deeply into who you are. Feel the fear and stand energetically with it. Calling spirit, be with me now, for I'm meeting some of my fear, my anxiety, my doubts that I keep meeting in the outer world, and they feel like they're trying to get into my inner world. And as you're willing to feel the peace of spirit with you, then, dearly beloved masters, that chaos, that anxiety, that worry, that frustration begins to soften. It energetically feels quieter. You can really experience being with you, your personal self, with your higher self, with your soul self, a blessed triune of energy of the heart and the soul and the body brain rather than the intellectual mind. And so, dearly beloved masters, the going deeper into love requires that you get clear within yourself. This is a question to ask, and it is a question to stay with yourself as you ask it and as you listen and look for the answer. Do I dare love myself? Logic, of course, will say, of course, I love myself. But when you're in that soul center, when you are focused on your true being, then, dearly beloved masters, it is so important for you to honestly answer that question. Feel the resistance to love. And that, dearly beloved masters, is why the world is in such chaos. You might say that the water bearer, the symbol of the Aquarian age, has been pouring unconditional love onto the earth for the last 100 years in preparation for this time that the Aquarian age has dawned, and now it's moving. Still in the liminal stages, yes, but it's moving into a deeper reality that connects with who you are within. Unconditional love. What you meet within yourself, that constant battering energy, is conditional love. You can only be loved if you don't deserve to be loved. You shouldn't have done that. You're a bad person. All those ideas that have been pushed into your psyche through lifetimes. And it is, dearly beloved masters, that as you allow yourself to just meet those ideas, it isn't about taking them as a wound. It's simply, as they come, I drop this idea in the violet flame, a transmuting fire that takes that energy of divisiveness and changes it into inclusion. It transforms, it transcends what you have thought yourself to be for lifetimes. And so, beloved masters, it is time to face how you got to the place where you doubt that you deserve to be loved. When things are good, you can say, oh, of course, I deserve to be loved. I can tell you all the reasons. But when it's challenging, when the noise, the tension, the pressure of the outer world are impinging on your space, on your peacefulness, that is when you most require to face that fear and resistance that the logical mind has put up to make you believe that, yes, God created you, but then God left. And I assure you, dearly beloved masters, through eons of time, God hasn't gone anywhere. But check your surroundings. Look and see if you've still got your suitcase with you, because you've been the traveler and you were created to experience different things, to travel far and wide, to learn of life. But there was never an intention in the divine that you would feel abandoned. It's been a part of the lessons of emotional action that the earth offers. We have called this place, this planet Earth, the university of the universe, because there are not many other planets where emotions play a part of the daily affairs of the people. And so, dearly beloved masters, you are meeting the illusions that have very slowly separated you out from who you are. It didn't happen quickly. It happened so slowly that you didn't notice until suddenly now, as you are getting ready to transcend into a new and higher frequency, it is, dearly beloved masters, now you're noticing. Just as people in the United States of America have been so lulled into a sense of they will take care of things so we can go about living our life, until suddenly the ones that were supposed to be taking care of things are not in any way in consideration of where you are in this outer world. And that makes the necessity of coming home to self even more powerfully important than it's been in thousands of years. Find you and love you, no matter what. The world talks of the measures and the judgments, but that didn't come from the divine, for God, Goddess loves you for all that you are. The logical mind picks and chooses. Well, I can love you if you're this good, but I certainly can't love you if you're doing that. And God and Goddess, look at this earth and see her glory and see the lights of each soul on this ball. Yes, there are some souls that are veiled, some souls whose lights are dimmer, but God doesn't say, your light is dim. I cannot see you. God says, let me shine a little more light into your life, into your heart, into your soul, and watch your light illuminate, to shine with the brilliance that it was created to shine with from the very beginning. Go deeper in to love and find you there. For your higher self, you will find in the depths of your inner places. And logic says, but if it's the higher self, it should be higher. Its frequency is certainly efficient in its way of being the divine connection that allows you to communicate with God, Goddess, all that is. So, dearly beloved masters, feel into the depths of yourself to find your highest and brightest and most beauteous being. Dearly beloved masters, it's time to focus on what you dream, perhaps what you have dreamt for the world for a long time. You can't change the others so that the world becomes what you thought it would be, but you can hold your dream and share that energy. It isn't even necessarily about telling others what you dream the world to be, but inviting them to consider, what do they desire the world to be? Let us put our hopes, our dreams, our desires, our passions for the new becoming, let us put them all together and allow that shared energy of 8 billion hearts, minds, and souls to bring the energy of the earth into the sixth dimension, where the illusion of the carbon-based vehicle begins to drop away, and you may discover that you're transforming. You may see someone that you haven't seen in a long time, and they look at you and say, you're different. And of course, you're living you every day. So unless you really practice paying attention, you won't notice your changes much either. But as you feel into that love that is where you are, and it's enough to make even those who severely doubt that they are loved to experience the unlimited depth of loving that is provided for all, for each one in the whole. Feel the love. Feel that love that makes your heart open. Feel that love that stirs your passion of creation. That love that makes you want to sing or makes you want to dance or makes you want to celebrate or praise. Feel it. Feel that love tonight. It is where we are. A love so deep that you can feel how we are connected, heart to heart, soul to soul, from the beginning of time. Take it in. Feel deeper. Enter into the love and allow Spirit to show you your own pathways that will take you where you require to go, that will take you through the transformation from carbon-based being to crystalline form in your own timing. There's no race to the pearly gates. There is no, I got there first, so I get in first. Because the love that you're finding, the love that you are feeling, the love that you are experiencing is assuring you won't be left out. You will not be left out. Now, this takes us back to that place of, are you willing to let the love in? Because from the divine, there is an absolute guarantee that you are not going to be left out. But if you doubt that you deserve to be loved, you may hold back your own processes. And it has absolutely nothing to do with judgment of the divine. The logical mind has used that tendency of humanity to take the opinions and judgments of others and take them so to heart that it feels as though I'll never be worthy. I'll never be able to get there. First, there is no there. So this takes the hurry to get to the finish line, and it just moves it aside. The way is open. Your willingness to allow yourself to be loved is the deciding factor of when and how you will move deeper. It isn't about dependency, for the logical mind has encouraged that people lean on each other with expectations of what someone else is supposed to be giving me, doing for me, telling me how to do what I need to do to get there. And it's not about them telling you what to do any longer. That has been very much in place for a very long time. And people are actually denying themselves their own forward motion in love by clinging tightly to, but the church said, my father said, I was told God said. How does it feel when you really get here now? Can you feel the love? Logic doesn't encourage love. It encourages illusions. And it isn't to say that you haven't loved in your lives, that you have walked in this journey to learn the lessons of separation. But it means that the further you come away from trusting yourself, loving yourself, the more the strength, the brilliance of who you truly are has dimmed. And then comes the blame and the judgment. Look what they have done to me. As you remember to love yourself, they can do nothing to stop you. It isn't about another war to push your way through. It is about the powerful, peaceful comfort of being in love with yourself within, of feeling so good about you and paying attention to when you don't. Pay attention to when you don't feel good. It isn't about slipping back into worry and fear and doubt of the outer world. It is, are you confronting another part of yourself that has accepted that you're not good enough. And you now become, if you would, your own soul retriever. I am love. I was created by love, in love, to love. And the divine does not measure that love. There is an element of sadness when someone moves so far away from themselves that they honestly believe they can never get back. And these are powerful times for staying with yourself, staying with yourself. When someone says something, forgive allowing the ego mind to say, you need to respond to that. You've got to let them know they can't talk to you like that. You've got to get into a war like you have been fighting for lifetimes. No, you don't. As you go within that absolutely divinely complete, integrated love allows that irritation to just smooth over. The need for rebuttal, the need to demand, the need to call them on their mistakes. Because if they would dare to tell you you've made a mistake, then you definitely need to get up there and show them where they've made theirs. And that's how separation has become so big. But as you drop down into the divine, when the irritation begins to flare up, you not only feel the love for yourself, which puts you back in the center, helps you to be aligned. It brings you to a new truth, an amazing experience of the vastness of your love. Just be with it. Don't try to do anything about it. Just be with it. It isn't that you're going to start overlooking things that other people do. It is that you're going to more consistently, more completely experience the situation as your logical mind would experience it, and almost instantly experience that peace, that tranquility, that alignment that allows you to love them, to love you without a condition. I can only love you if. And that becomes amazing. I love myself so well that I actually am beginning to understand what forgiveness really means. Because it's another word that the logical mind absolutely cannot grasp. To let go of it before it ever even becomes an issue. I forgive the situation. I'm already willing to give my love no matter what. And the warrior aspects of the logical mind wants to offer shame and guilt, to call you weak, to call you many names we could not even mention here, that logic has used, especially among men who don't capitulate to the battle mongers, to the war creators. And yet, as you feel into this power within you, this absolute strength, dearly beloved masters, you began to be absolutely amazed that the power of divine love is 1,000 times more powerful than fear holding a weapon. Fear that will fight, fear that will kill, because it's scared if it doesn't, it'll get worse. And divine love, just as though it pours a balm, a cooling lotion, a soothing essence on your wounded spirit. The soul is not wounded, but the emotional feeling nature can slip away from feelings, which is that power to love that is absolute grandeur. And yet it has no sense of superiority because it's unconditional. It isn't what you think. It's the ultimate essence of who you are. The ultimate essence of who you are. Feel it. Feel it. Feel you willing to stand and face the unknown future powerfully instead of cringing and crawling and trying to hide away. Maybe if I hide sufficiently, no one will know I'm not going anywhere. But that unconditional essence of divine love, the love that humanity experiences, can be absolutely astoundingly beautiful. Love in its purity, love in its elegance and grace, love in its gratitude, pure power. And when two souls connect to each other in that beautiful place of powerful overcoming, they experience divine love. It's always available, it's always there. And some people are so connected that they can experience that love for a very long time. But others turn and go back to the world. And the logical mind is waiting there to say, you thought you had found love, didn't you? But it wasn't real. And I'm here to say, dearly beloved masters, love is real. Romance is a dance of the illusion. It is something that people crave. It's almost like an addiction to read romance novels, to hear romantic stories, to see plays about love, to keep the idea of love, hopefully, on my heart. But unconditional love doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't leave you. It doesn't diminish. You may get used to it and integrate it in such a way that you don't feel that absolute power on a daily basis. And yet, as you feel within, the power of loving unconditionally is there for you, for others. That love that dances in the stars of the night sky, that calls so deeply to your soul and the loves that you have known throughout eternity. It's enough as you feel it, as you find it in the depths of yourself. It is enough to make star-crossed lovers seek their very best. I love you. I love you. I love myself. And in that depth of loving of myself, I find the love of the divine waiting inside of me. For that love of the divine is everywhere, inside and out. As you allow yourself to go deeper in love, you begin to realize you can commune with the essence of the divine. No one's going to own God because it's unconditional. So no one's going to take your God away because That grandeur belongs to each one equally. Equally. You may let more in than your neighbor does, but that doesn't mean that their equality is less. It simply means that their willingness to be open to it has gotten so shut down that they don't feel the truth of love. And you don't really until you begin to look within yourself. For what's called love out there in the world can be so transient. Today, they adore me, and tomorrow, I can't see anyone anywhere. Where are you? Have you closed your door? Have you allowed a wound, a situation, angry words, sorrow, frustration, memories to cause you to feel the fear and close the door? For that inner space is open to all. It's open to you within yourself. It's open to them within themselves. And it allows the whole to feel that love. And with the draw of the outer world being so strong in this time, it is, dearly beloved masters, the habits of turning to listen to what the logical mind dictates are like an addiction. The deeper you go in love, the more the addiction and its grip dissolve. Peace. Peace. And power that is so astounding because it is so powerful that it wouldn't dream of using that power against another. That power of love, the logical mind really cannot fathom it. It may try to recreate it. A spiritual AI moment. The logical mind is attempting to recreate God in the life so that you can feel God when God exists really in the depths of your being. The deeper you dive, the higher you rise. The more you come to know yourself, the easier ascension flows. And ascension is not a selective process. It isn't only the best can go, because humanity is experiencing the throes of that perspective on the earth now in this time, with some of the most blatant, expanded prejudices that the earth has known. The idea that everyone is prejudiced and everyone talks about it, but you just don't talk anywhere or everywhere. You only talk in the right places. And now people are talking about their hate. They're selling books about it. They're talking about how they believe that there are groups of people on this earth that are less. How the patriarchal order, in this time of goddess emerging, has suddenly decided to put the genie of goddess back in the bottle and put the cork in it. Get women back into their place. And dearly beloved masters, I assure you that the ultimate ascension is holy. God, goddess, all that is. Not purely masculine, not purely feminine, but the ultimate blending of capabilities, of brilliant creativity, of amazing concepts, but concepts that become ways of living, not just a thought or an idea or an ideal. But then you can't have that because you're not good enough, that the world plays. But to really experience the amazement of being you. And in that wholeness of love, that desperate need to prove it to others just melts away. I am that I am. I am all in this moment that I can be. And now I am all in this moment that I can be. And now, and now, and now. And as you are willing to allow it, you discover how beautifully simplistic it is to be all that you can be now and not worry if the next moment will bring you more or take something away. This earth is a school, and every soul is here to learn. Every soul is here to grow. Every soul is here to discover that the challenges are actually gifts and blessings to help you be stronger, to assist you to be more. But the game of illusions has made so many believe that those challenges are to defeat humanity, to take things away, to punish because you were undeserved in some manner. People are, many of them, rushing back to the churches, back to the churches, in the hopes that those establishments of moral righteousness may give them a sense of themselves that they didn't get the last time. But many of the churches have become caught up in the divisiveness, in the separation, in the our way, my way is better than theirs. Pay your price and join our collective. And spirit doesn't ask a price. The key to the kingdom is faith. It isn't how much money you have in your earthly bank account. For all of the currency, the electricity, the creative essence that backs that money in this illusion is available to each and every one as an element of exchange, of barter, of sharing, without a price. It's when the world begins to put a price on things that people forget how it feels to be loved, to be in love. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It is so expansive. It gives you a sense of grace and elegance that isn't something that's taught in a charm school. It allows you to be, yes, what you perceive to be your best and to live that gloriously. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters, it's time to remember what you have been punished to get you to forget. You are a glorious part of creation. You are an amazing being. The gifts, the thoughts, the ideas, the inventiveness of your creativity is magical. And as you go deeper into your inner places of absolute love, the fairy tales that are told to children, not the ones that send them to bed terrified, so they would rather crawl under the bed or deep under the covers than to sleep peacefully. But those fairy tales of beauty and harmony and abundance and just feeling good about yourself. You begin to discover from the inner spaces they're real. You begin to find that there are places between this illusion and other worlds where you can actually cross the boundaries. That's only occurred recently. For eons of time, the veils of illusion blocked the connection between humanity and the fae, the fairy. And they looked ahead and said, the times are coming when we cannot stay separate. The times are coming when we must be open to our neighbors. And they began to pull down the veils of illusion. And definitely humanity's felt it. In fact, the deeper you go within yourself, the more comfortable you get with living from that inner space. Even as you would go into the outer world, that you would step in the energy of the inner space into the outer world. And it's as though you've drawn a cloak of protection, love, around you, and you can go about your affairs in the world, but it feels so different than if you leave your inner space, go into your head, and then go out into the inner or the outer world and realize how much conflict and separation there is without that vibrational protection. Coming into your own reality of love, that loving yourself is the first step to the greatness of creation. Because if you don't understand how to love yourself, what you are going to share with others is going to be created of competition, of conflict, of belittling, judgment. Whereas as you live the love you are, you experience the ability to share with an open heart. And it is so amazing to share from that open heart. You can feel the difference so powerfully because as you move in the energy of the outer world, you may feel like your heart's constricted. Your body may feel heavy. You may feel almost as though you can't breathe. The energy is so loaded with chaos. And yet, in the space of love, in that inner space of reality and truth. You experience the same experiences out in the world that you would if you entered from your logical mind, but it looks so different, it feels so different. You see more, you notice the details, you notice the colors. The deeper you go within you, the brighter the world becomes. And so, dearly beloved masters, here we are in these times of transformation, and those that are still operating with the blinders of the outer world on are continuing to seek to perpetuate atrocity. But those that are waking up, those that are diving deeper, are beginning to realize that I cannot live like that any longer. And then the logical mind says, well, what do we do? And I say, nothing. Because as you begin to realize what's happening in that illusion, that's the call from the inner space, from the heart and soul. Come home, be with yourself. And then as you go into the outer world, you will feel that world with the same beautiful love that you experience inside. And you may experience the pain of those who are separate. You will certainly know that the things that are going on are creating suffering, but in that unconditional love, you also begin to understand free will means that they will get the lessons in their time. And they will get the lessons from where they are open. And the lessons are just that, an understanding of how to be stronger, how to be clearer, how to love deeper, how to be who you were created to be. Not the battle to be better than anyone else. Because pedestals are very fragile and very limited spaces in order to live. And even though there may be a crowd worshiping at the foot of the pedestal where you're standing, it doesn't mean that the crush of the crowd couldn't break the post that's holding that, yes, that amazing sense of being greater above the others. And then the whole thing collapses because pedestals were not intended for the creation of the divine, but certainly the logical mind has encouraged the belief that I belong on a pedestal. As you love and share, as you recognize who you are, as you live your best self, not because you have to, but because you desire to. And so the planet is moving in this time to what has been throughout eons of time a celebration of the birth of the Christ child. And the religions have turned Christedness into something that no one can have unless God deems it so. But dearly beloved masters, a new chakra has opened over the last 50 years. It sits in the area of the thyroid and the thymus, and it is the chakra of the second coming. It is no longer a man dressed in sandals and a robe, walking about the earth. It is about every being discovering within themselves that peaceful belonging, that way of sharing harmony and kindness. Christedness. It isn't perfect. Perfection is a dead end. If God was perfect, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So don't worry about not being perfect. And certainly, beloved masters, we would suggest that you forgive striving to be perfect. It hurts. Be your best, beloved, brilliant, beautiful self. And bloom where you desire to bloom. It isn't even about blooming where you're planted. You can do that for a little while, but unless you recognize from the Lord God of your being that your purpose was to come and for this journey be a tree, you soon will begin to get restless. And the idea of staying in one spot loses its appeal. Now, that doesn't mean you have to pick up your house and move it every 6 months or a year. It means move you. It means generate a new level of understanding. It means open yourself to your creativity in the physical world, in the mental world, in the feeling world, and allow Spirit to guide you as you create more than you could have ever dreamed about. Because, beloved masters, there's always more, always, no matter how good it gets, no matter how rich you are, no matter how satisfied you are with your place and space, there's always more. And the divine put you on this earth to explore. Even if you don't leave your armchair, you can let your mind flow freely. And so, beloved masters, the intellect is not a weapon of the finite mind. The intellect is a gift that Spirit gave. And it's how you choose to use it that makes it a boon or a blessing or a disaster. Free will. In the final end, you give the answer. In each and every choice, you make the final decision. You're not weak. You're not powerless. You are phenomenal, amazing, wondrous. Forgive belittling your God-given gifts. Go deeper and find the treasures that are there that will take you higher and allow you from the depths of the ocean and the very top of the highest mountain to make the choice. Where will I go now? And so, beloved masters, going deeper into self in love to discover more love. The depths lift you up. Logic would never accept that. Logic says if you drop into the depths, you're lost. Spirit says the deeper you delve into your own beingness, the bigger you are. So spend some time practicing spatial expansion. Sit in your chair and just move into a meditative, centered sense of yourself. And then look behind you energetically. Look behind you energetically. It isn't about physically turning around in your chair. It is about allowing your mind, your soul, to explore the space behind you. Now, logic may say if you're sitting in a chair that the back is to the wall, that there's no space behind you to explore. So humor me. Go in and just examine what's behind you and be amazed that instead of a wall being there, it opens cosmically. It opens magnificently. And you begin to experience life with more space that they cannot take away from you. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters, the deeper you go, the more you are. And so, beloved masters, as we are moving toward the winter solstice, as we are moving toward the ending of a year of fantastic disassemblage, on this, what may seem like the downhill part of the roller coaster, going at 60 or 70 miles an hour down a huge drop, come center, because as you cross the Rainbow Bridge into 2026, it's going to feel very different. It's not going any slower, but it's going to feel calmer. In fact, up until the spring solstice, the logical mind may say, nothing's happening. But dearly beloved master, when the farmer plants the field, he can't get up the next morning and see it covered in a crop. And so things that have been planted in 2025, changes that are coming about for you as you move into that first quarter of 2026. You're waiting for things to begin to manifest. Where will I go with this? And so, dearly beloved masters, wherever you go, we are with you. You are never alone, but it is not our voices clamoring to be heard. And that's why I suggest again, when you hear the noise, just ask Spirit to put it in the violet flame. If it doesn't feel as though it's something that you require to explore, put it in the violet flame. Put everything that you believe you cannot live without, put everything in the violet flame. That transmuting fire that assists you to go deeper in order to rise higher. And so, masters, we will speak to you again very soon about the new moon and where it is going to take the rest of this year. Until then, in the greatest of love, we are with you, each and every one, personally. Adieu.